Hi guys, boys and girls, and welcome back to Robbie's English Harmony video blog. I welcome you to this video on this nice Sunday afternoon. However, let me draw your attention to the fact that it might not be a Sunday that this video is published on YouTube, simply because I tend to record a bunch of videos and then I publish them as I see fit, basically, right? And if you noticed, I used this phrase that we're going to be talking about today. Let me draw your attention to the fact I used it previously, a couple seconds ago there, and that was pretty much the first example scenario, how you'd use it, right? It's simply to draw somebody's attention to a specific fact, right? And also, let me draw your attention to the fact that this phrase is somewhat more professional, formal, if you know what I mean. You wouldn't be probably using this phrase when chatting with your friends in a very, very informal setting, you know. You might use it, it won't hurt, you know, but it's just that it's probably typically used in professional environments. Imagine giving a presentation or giving a speech, and that's when you would use this phrase. But if you want to hear more example scenarios when this phrase is used, please bear with me for a few more moments, and you will hear more from me, right? Hi guys, and welcome back. But before we continue with looking at the phrase, let me draw your attention to the fact, how to use it, what kind of situations you would be using it in. Let me just have a quick sip of my Sunday afternoon coffee. Cheers, my friends. And let me draw your attention to the fact that this is only the second cup. Well, as a matter of fact, it's not a cup, you know, because cups tend to be of smaller size. This is a massive jug, you know, for all intents and purposes. This is almost like a pint jug that you drink Guinness from, you know. So yeah, let me draw attention to the fact that this is only the second one. Because why I'm saying only, the simple fact of the matter is lately I've been kind of stressed out, you know. There's been a lot going on in my life, and I started drinking coffee in ever increasing amounts, and lo and behold, I started developing slight headache, you know, and it's been troubling me for the last couple of days, and that's human nature, you know. That's human nature. You don't change your behavior unless something starts troubling you, you know. So I cut down on the amount of coffee that I'm consuming. This is the second day, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm feeling much better, gotta tell you. So my resolution is when I go back to work tomorrow, I will only have 2 cups max, you know, 2 cups max. But now I'm enjoying it, and let me draw attention to the fact that I added some chocolate almond milk to it, and it tastes just wonderful, you know. You may want to try it yourself, right? Anyway, going back to the fact that I mentioned previously there, that you would be using this phrase, let me draw attention to the fact, more in formal settings. I want you to click on this link here, right? And it's going to take you to my blog, where I've published a number of phrases that are very useful when giving a presentation, right? And this phrase, let me draw attention to the fact, is actually listed there. It's one of those phrases, and I got to tell you that they are very, very useful. Basically, the whole principle is you just memorize such and similar sentences, and then when you have to give a presentation, it's so much easier to do it, you know. And you can actually use certain phrases throughout the presentation, thus making yourself sound smarter, giving more substance to your speech, you know. And at the end, you just end up killing the whole event, you know. And I gotta tell you that I've been trying it out in real life myself, and it works like charm. This whole concept of learning a number of phrases and then using them throughout the conversation, you know, not the conversation, but presentation. So just like I said, check out that link, and let me draw your attention to the fact that all these presentation phrases have been actually used by real professionals. When I was coaching my own students, there was one student that I remember in particular, and I prepped him for professional presentations, conferences to be more specific, and he improved big time, largely due to the fact that he was simply memorizing these sentences, and then he provided me with great positive feedback saying that it helped him big time, you know. So going from unable to say the right thing to complete speech automation just like that, just because you memorize these phrases, right? So let me draw your attention to the fact once more that success when it comes to your spoken English fluency improvement can be largely attributed to memorization, repetition, and practice. So practice your spoken English on your own. You don't necessarily have to find a speech, like a conversation partner or whatever. You can do it in comfort in your own house, in your own room, just like I do right now, you know, just talk. If there's an important presentation coming up, basically write a script, and obviously you wouldn't be memorizing the whole script off by heart, but you would be inserting these phrases every so often throughout the whole script, you know, and they would kind of separate the whole script into chunks, into paragraphs, you know, main bullet points, so to speak, and then when you start each of those points, you would be able to produce that starting phrase, you know. Let me draw attention to the facts, which is the phrase that we're focusing on today, right? You would be able to produce it just like that, totally automatically, you know, without any thinking whatsoever, you know. So that's about it for today, my friends. If you have any questions, obviously, please feel free to post them in the comment section below, and chat to you soon again. Bye bye.